Are we live yet?
Hi everyone, it's Lisa Bolano from Bolano Home, and I'm here with Jonathan Agudelo from Freedom Mortgage.
Hey everybody.
What? Okay. We are here for another Let's Talk episode, I guess we would say.
Yeah, it's another conversation.
So today we have 3 new topics for you. Do you want to go over those or?
Sure. All right. So we're looking at 3 things. Number 1, purchasing a single family home versus a multifamily home. Why you would want to do that, the different advantages, disadvantages for each one. Non-traditional credit, if you don't believe in credit cards or you want to pay everything cash, you don't like having that, which a lot of people don't like to do, which is a good thing. But it kind of ties your hands when it comes to trying to purchase a house or get any kind of financing. There's non-traditional credit lines that are sometimes accepted, which we'll get into. The other one is determining if a fixer-upper is right for you, whether or not it's something that you should consider, or maybe it's just something that you should move along from altogether. It's going to help you in the buying process.
Yes.
To avoid frustration, avoid kind of like that stress of something that you maybe shouldn't get and are trying to.
Let's send out a shout out to Morel, Christina Rivera, Amanda Butler, Soraya Alexandra, Claudia. You can say hi to all them.
Hey everybody, thank you for joining in.
All right, keep going.
All right, so
single family versus multifamily. On the financing side of things, how are they the same? Are they different? Is the process?
So
How does that go?
on the financing side of things, one of the most important aspects of the single family versus multifamily is how much income you're going to be able to use to qualify. For example, on a single family home, if you qualify for $200,000 based on your income, your employment income, if you go 2 family and you need to use that rental income to help you qualify, you can do it if you go on FHA still. So, for example, if you're like, I want to go a little higher than that, I want 200 is not good enough, or there's no single families in that range, and on a 2 family you go 250, and then maybe there's some stuff that you like there. You get help on rent on mortgage with the rental income coming in, and it kind of makes it a little. It's not as big as going with the 3 family that some people don't want to deal with too many tenants, right?
That's true.
That's single family, 2 family. One of the things that's similar about them is you do not need necessarily to have reserves as long as your credit's where it needs to be and everything as it should be. For FHA, you don't need reserves for single family or 2 family. Once you go 3 family or 4 family or 4 unit, which is the max for a primary residence for FHA. Once you go 4 unit, you need 3 unit or 4 unit. You need reserves. Reserves are with us. It's 3 months mortgage payments. So if your mortgage payment is going to be $2,000 a month, then you're going to need $6,000 in your account. Again, this is not money that you're going to use, you're going to put down or anything like that. This is money that's just to show as reserves. So they know worst case scenario. You get injured, you miss some time from work, you have money in there to make a payment or 2 in the meantime while you get yourself resituated. That's on top of whatever you would need to put down for a down payment. So that's one of the major things when it comes to that. What do you think the market looks like right now with single families versus 2 families or 3 families even, price-wise? Which ones are going up more? Which ones do you think are leveling off? Or how does it look?
I think they're all definitely on the high side. Prices are up across the board pretty much. We mostly deal with the single family, maybe 2 families as of right now, so that's our main focus.
Yeah.
But we're definitely seeing a lot more people actually interested in the multifamily route as well too. So, and inventory is still low, you guys. So there's not a lot out there
on any of those, right? Single family, 3 family, 4 family.
But yeah, prices are still up And I think they're still projected to go up within the next couple of years too. So
Which means get pre-approved ASAP.
now,
Gas fuel prices are still low, and while interest is still low as well.
Yes.
right, interest rates are also projected to go up, right?
Oh, yeah.
Correct.
So-
Just going to say hi to Randy Giraldo's that's out there, Yaneris Nunez, Marisol.
Hey, guys.
Hi.
And we got Ryan Gerard over here on Instagram. Say hi, Ryan.
Hi, Ryan.
What's going on,
Thank you for
Ryan?
joining us, Ryan.
All right. A little bit on the real estate side for these two things. When it comes down to the inspection and the appraisal, that stuff is a little more expensive with the multifamilies. It all depends on the company once again, so I can't give you solid numbers, but just make sure to expect that you're gonna pay a little more for those things for multifamilies as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Because it's more stuff for the appraiser, more stuff for the inspector
It's
to
a
look
lot more
at,
space.
a lot more.
Yeah. And in addition to what you guys were saying earlier, what we had witnessed was that a lot of single families, there are a lot of people out there buying single families, but there are even more people right now looking for multifamilies because the people are starting to realize the investment opportunity in that. And so because of that, there are a lot less multifamilies out on the market that we've seen in recent days because of that alone. Hi, Tessa. Hi, Christine, Natasha, Nuncio. We have a question from Yaneris right here. We'll jump away from that for a second. She says, what is the best way to raise your credit in order to get approved? Mr. Agudelo, that one's for you.
That's for you.
All right. So that depends on what's keeping your credit down. So the first thing we would have to do, as much as everybody hates to hear it, is pull your credit. Depending on the situation, depending on why it is, if you have a bankruptcy, if you have just high credit balances, a couple of collection accounts, there's different ways in which we can set it up. Unfortunately, that's one of those kind of case-to-case kind of things where I can tell you, yeah, you can do this, this, and this, and it'll help you out, or go the other route or something like that. I'd say your best bet is either send me a message, give me a call, text me, email me, and I'll be able to answer that more directly. Again, even if you're not planning to look like to buy right now, you're saying, I'm trying to set myself up for 6 months from now or a year from now. If we do that now, then I'll be able to tell you, hey, this is exactly what you need to do to get there, and we'll start going from there. And there's no upfront fee for me to run your credit and get you going and take an application and set you up where you need to go either. So it's literally just probably an hour of your time, and then we can really see where you're at. I hope that answers it, Yaneris. I know I didn't get to really get into detail, but definitely reach out.
All right. Any other questions on that side? Or are we good for now?
No, we look good. We look good.
All right, should we move on to the next
All right, and if
one?
anybody has any more questions, feel free to jump in whenever, even if it's on a topic we've already discussed or we're not discussing. Any questions you have, just jump right on in, please.
And we have a few more people on over here. Eric Bowers, Stephen, and Marcia.
Hey, guys,
Hi.
thank you for joining us.
All right, next topic, non-traditional credit. What does that mean and why is that important?
So this is important for people that, one second. Apparently we have a question.
Natasha just asked a question. My stomach's kicking me right now. What is a good goal to have for debt to income ratio?
For
What
that-
is a good debt to income ratio goal?
All right, so you want to stay usually between a good goal, make it an easy, smooth process, probably like the high 20s on the front end, 28 on your household ratio. On the back end, you're looking more along the lines of 38, 39, but you can go as high as, without going FHA, you can go as high as 31, 43. You can go a little higher depending on the situation. You have to have compensating factors. Also on FHA, you can go as high on the front end as 46, on the back end as 56. Again, depending on the compensating factors being credit scores, how much money you have in your account. So if they show, all right, strong on all the other sides, they just seem to have a little bit, the debts are a little higher than we'd like them to be, but they have good credit, they have money in their account, then it compensates for it. So, but yeah, you don't want to go above those numbers.
All right. Natasha, if that's good, if you have any other questions, shoot them out forward. Crystal Allen, hello. Maria Jaden, hello.
Good evening.
Randy Geraldo, what's going on, Randy? He asked that the ratio is based on gross or take-home percentages.
The ratio is based on gross. So this is before taxes.
Great. Anybody else got questions out there for now? Any questions are good. Remember that. It doesn't have to be on the topics that we're talking about. Great. It's quiet. Let's keep moving.
All right. So non-traditional credit. For those of you or those of us, there's people out there that don't have credit cards, don't have a car financed, don't have anything that's showing credit and with the bureaus, that's reporting to the bureaus. You could pay everything on time, do everything on time and everything, but it's not reporting. So nobody has any idea how great your credit really could be. And you can look to purchase a house and then you have 0 scores, nobody's gonna give you the loan. What we can do is we can use non-traditional credit, which would be gym membership, National Grid bills, cell phone bills, anything where we can call, we can get them to send us some documentation showing that you've made at least 12 payments on time. Okay, so you need to have at least 1 year of on-time payments. And B, they will do a verbal verification with them as well. What happens then is they will come, once they give us that non-traditional credit, it will get a manual underwrite. So what happens is an underwriter themselves is going to be the only one making that decision. There's not going to be anything that goes into it based on our, the algorithms in the computer and all that stuff and the different guidelines that they follow. It's going to be a person making that decision. It's going to be a little more strict. It's a little stricter. It's going to be a little less of a DTI that you can qualify. So you have your absolute max there would be 31 on the front end, 43 on the back end for FHA. So
what does that mean? 31 on the front end?
31 is your household income, your household debts, rent, stuff like that,
And what's the back end?
The back end is more like your credit cards, your debts, you accrue the credit card, car payment, stuff like that. So again, it would be 31, 43 would be your limit, absolute max right there. In that case, and there's also different contingencies as they go along. The underwriter might ask for more stuff. But yeah, I'm staring at Mr. Bolano over here behind the laptop instead of looking at the cameras. Like I'm having a conversation with him and not you guys. Sorry.
Say hi to James Lee. He just jumped on.
Hi, James.
Jimmy.
And we have Buy, Sell, Rent over here with TNT over on Instagram on the Bolano home feed.
Hello.
And we just got Raquel Fernandez.
Hi.
How are you?
All right. So I think you guys are talking about.
We were on non-traditional credit.
Right.
So if you feel the important thing with non-traditional credit is you have to know that you've been making these payments on time. It's not like something that you're going to want to be like, oh, let's roll the dice and see if I have been. If you know you've been making these payments on time, then great, let's do it. It's an easy little extra step that we have to take, but it'll get you rolling. If you have any doubt, find out first. Find out. Call National Grid. Say, hey, I'd like you to give me my payment history for the last 12 months, please. Let me know. Make sure everything's on time. And on time means within 15 days of your due date. So, if anybody has any questions on that, not sure. I don't know anything.
We got nothing here. We've got nothing on Instagram. Say hi to Henry on Instagram, our friend over in Florida. If any of you guys are looking for houses in Florida, we have a great agent for you down there that helped us out with one of our sales earlier on this year. He made the transition process really smooth. So if you're also an agent and you're looking for a Florida agent to refer to or to work with, Henry White with White Realty over in Florida is our primary person to go to. That's our go-to guy right there. All right. Good on communication and the whole nine. Thank you, Henry.
Awesome.
And then we just had Melissa Smith come in on Agudelo's feed as well.
Let's see. How are you?
All right. I think we're jumping on to fixer-uppers.
Yes,
All
sir.
right. Determining if a fixer-upper is the right choice for you. So I'm sure we touched upon 203K loans at some point.
Yes, a
several
few times.
So that's the financing option for a fixer-upper, right?
Yes, it's the main one if you go on FHA, correct.
And what are some things that people exploring this option should keep in mind? Is it as easy as a conventional loan or an FHA loan? How much longer can it take, for example?
So with a fixer-upper, the problem is it depends on what fixer-upper means to you. So if a fixer-upper to you is, I'm gonna get rid of these cabinets, get some new ones. I'm gonna, do this or that. You make it your own as opposed to have it pass an FHA inspection. It's a completely different situation. If you're doing it because you just want to make it your own, do what you want to do to it, it's a little different because you have that option of, all right, do I have money? So once I could just close on this loan as a regular FHA loan, regular conventional loan, and as long as it passes inspection, I can make those changes after. Or is it one of those things where you're like, we're not going to be able to purchase this home unless it has these fixes. Yeah, sorry.
It's a hard word to think of.
Yeah, fix. So tough. So
It's a one-syllable word. I mean,
yeah.
two-syllable word.
Oh, fixes. Yes.
It's complicated.
So the other thing you want to look at is how are you looking at this property? Is it a purchase to invest? To which Lisa will be able to speak a little more on how, which way to go with that or what you want to do, or is it a property that you're trying to purchase? And it still ends up being that you purchase to live in. It still ends up being an investment if you go, let's say, multifamily, but you're really seeing it as a primary residence and you're just getting the help as opposed to like, no, I'm buying this house to either A, I'm going to sell it down the road, or B, I'm using this house to refinance and buy another couple houses.
Right.
So it depends on what you're trying to do.
Right.
Hey, David, how you doing? David Quinones.
Mr. Quinones.
Yeah, so to add a little bit on top of that, you want to buy low. So if you have the intention of selling it later on down the line, you want to make sure that you have some wiggle room there and you can make a profit off of it. I know that Jonathan and I, for example, have run into situations where some people put in tons and tons and tons of money into these houses and figure out that they put more money into it than they can get back. So definitely keep that in mind. Whether or not you want it as an investment or as a personal thing, always keep that in the back of your mind. You never know that circumstances always change. So definitely keep that in mind so you don't end up surprised later down the line when an agent comes into your home and says your home is worth this and you were expecting something totally different.
$20,000-$30,000 more or something.
Because you put in all that work and the time and effort into fixing it up too. So
yeah.
Yes, fixing things up doesn't automatically mean equity in your house all the time. It's important for them to be working with an agent. I didn't get to listen because I was writing down. Randy has a question. So Randy, we're going to get to that in 1 second. So I'm sorry if I'm repeating what you just said, but like we had discussed earlier, it's important for them to work with an agent for this stuff because the agent can tell them potentially what the market's going to look like in a few months, like basically give them a good estimate, and they can show them what the recent solds are, so they can learn, is this house worth $100,000 now? And then the highest price house here is like $250,000, because that's a large gap. That's $150,000 worth of equity that you can build into your house had you done good work and you did the right things. However, if you're buying a $100,000 house in an area where the houses are mostly capping out at 110 and you want to go in and fix it up,
put 30,000 to work or something in there, yeah.
Exactly. Then now you're basically upside down. And in addition to that, you need to make sure that it's going to appraise. And you can talk about appraisals for real quick and let them understand, like, why is appraisal such a big deal for this and how can this be such a detrimental factor? And Randy, once again, we're going to jump into your question in 1 second. And Mimi just said, look how grown you are, Mr. Agudelo. So say hello to Mimi.
Mimi, thank you.
All right, so let's set appraisals.
So the appraisal part can be tricky, right? So when we go as agents, when we go into your home and kind of give it a price, we have a lot of things in the back of our head. Will it appraise for that? What are the houses in the area that's sold for? Like if we could, we can sell. We would love to sell every single house for $1 million.
Yeah,
Right.
the commission on $1 million is really nice.
Right, but we have to think about the steps later on that happen. And if the house doesn't appraise, what can happen is that buyers just can't afford to pay the difference out of pocket, and they would just have to walk away, and you're starting from scratch.
What is an appraisal?
An appraisal is basically when an appraiser who pretty much determines the value of your home based on the other properties in that area. I can't see that, I'm sorry. Bank, yes, or the bank, same thing. Lender, bank sends appraisers out, but I forgot where I was going now because you interrupted me. Anyways,
Yeah.
appraisals are important. It's important to keep that in the back of your mind from the very beginning, from the moment you have an agent walk into your home to determine a price until the very end, which is closing. So keep that in mind. As agents, we don't want to tell you that your home is worth X when you think it's worth something else. We are using actual data to come up with these numbers.
And not
So-
just pulling it out of thin air.
yeah,
Yeah.
and appraisers are gonna do the same thing, except that they just literally go through every single crack in the house to help to determine
Determine.
that price.
Yep.
So if they want more information on appraisals as well, because we have to move on to Randy's question, we do have a video up on Facebook and YouTube on the Bolano Home. So for those of you that are on Argudello's page, look up Bolano Home on Facebook or on Instagram or even on YouTube, and you can find videos on what appraisals are there. Moving on, thank you guys for answering that and going through that. The question from Randy is, you paid off all your loans and now you only have student debt. How long will it take for that to reflect on your credit, basically? Randy, I know I paraphrased that one, but I think that's where you were going with that. So if I'm wrong, just shoot us a message and we'll try to jump from there. But once again, you paid off all of your loans, you have student debt left only. How does that affect your credit and how can they determine that?
So that's a good question, because what happens there, it's all gonna depend on number one, whether or not you're I'm sorry, I just got distracted by background and stuff here. So if you paid off all your
Blame me for everything.
yeah, no, I said it wasn't even you. But so you paid off all your loans, right? And you're left with only student debt. What can happen is we actually have a program, because what's gonna happen is, number one, you're gonna want to see when it reflects, which is, I think, was part of your question. When is it gonna reflect?
Yeah.
Depending on each different company that you've paid off, each different lender, each different whatever it may be, they can reflect at different times. You'll find that when you don't make payments and you're late, it kind of reflects like this. And then
Instant.
once it's all set, or you're paying on time or whatever, they don't update those as much as fast as you'd like to. There is ways to take care of that. You can, most lenders, I know we do it. We will do a rapid rescore, in which is you can contact that lender. Let's say it's Capital One. You call them and you say, hey, I know I have a zero balance right now. Can you send me a letter saying that as of this date I have a zero balance, or that it's closed out? The problem is closing out, having a zero balance versus closing out an account it's very different, because if you close out that account, you no longer have that line of credit to show your history. So you're losing that history on your credit report, as opposed to having a zero balance. And maybe some people get it down to a zero balance and they just snip the card, and I'm not going to use it again, but I have that option. It's there, and now you have that open line of credit, and you're keeping a low balance, obviously, if you're not making any payments on it. So it's going to still give you that positive impact on your credit, as opposed to getting rid of that card altogether or that account altogether. Very important on the student loans. If the student loans are deferred, we have to take a payment of 1% of your balance on each one into account. So sometimes you say, oh, hey, I owe $20,000 in student loans, but it's broken up on this account. It's $2,000. There's another one with $7,000, another one with 12. So we would take 1% of each of those, and it would be a separate payment that shows up on your credit report. And if it's not deferred, obviously, then it's going to go based on what your payments normally would be, and how many months you have left, and how many times you've been on time or late, or any of that stuff. I don't know, Randy, if that answers most of that, but it's also one of those things that's going to be case by case. If you want me to take a look at it, give me a call. We can check your credit and see what's still showing, what's not showing, and we can make some quick phone calls and have them send over some letters, and we can update that a little faster for you.
Amanda said that she really needs to fix her student loan status because she still owes. So Amanda, one of the things that you can do, and I'm behind the camera, is one of the things that a lot of people are doing that just got out of college, or like people that I personally think, because this is what I did, are doing right. They're buying a house low. This is one of the topics we spoke about earlier. Buying a house at a low price, fixing it up, doing some nominal fixes, and then putting it back up on the market within 6 months to a year and seeing what the difference is. And that's one of the places that working with an agent can really, really help you out, because we can help you learn what that price is going to look like after you do certain fixes. So let's say you decide that you're going to fix up the living room and the kitchen, and you want to see, like, what does that do to that house's value in the grand scheme of what the market is doing right then and there. And you can find out, like, oh, am I going to make roughly 50K or 60K or 100K? And you can use that money after you sell that house to pay off like student loans and such. Now there's tax implications and other things like that that we could focus on, but that's for another conversation, because that can get pretty detailed. But if you want to get into that, you can contact Mr. Agudelo, or you can contact the Bolano Home Team, and we can get into that more with you, of how you can get rid of student debt just by buying houses low and selling them high, and working with a great agent like the Bolano Home Team. Randy said, sounds good, thanks. Thank you for joining us, Randy. We have Kyle Donovan. Donovan, I can't say your first name, buddy. Janja. I don't, yeah. And then Jennifer Lopez. Hey, J-Lo.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
Let's see. We have Charisse over on the Bolano Facebook page that has joined us. And we have a couple people over here. I think Paul Cutler from Keller Williams might be one. And I can't tell who stayed on, but just say hi to Instagram over here for me.
Hey, everybody.
All right.
Also, just throwing it out there, a lot of these topics we've discussed, you guys have had some great questions and stuff, but next week is our 5th week. So now my phone just died is what I'm hearing.
It's about to.
Oh, it's about to. Okay, sorry. Next week is our 5th week. So next week we're gonna have 3 questions. We're gonna have, a topic or whatever, and we're gonna have 3 questions we're gonna ask. The 3 people that answer the question correctly, whoever answers it first, obviously correctly, is gonna get either Starbucks, Dunkin' Donuts gift card, courtesy of us.
Maybe even a hug.
Bolano's giving out hugs.
Free hugs.
So. But yeah, so just keep that in mind. So just kind of remember some of these little topics we've talked about, and if, again, it could be a fun way to kind of remember the past videos, the stuff we've mentioned, and really educate you on what you're trying to do if you're looking to purchase, refinance, sell, any of the things that all of us can help you out with.
And it's also a good way to get a free gift card.
Yeah, so it is a good way to get a free gift card.
All right, any other questions before we close out?
We're just gonna stare at you guys in
Let's
silence.
not all talk all that. Let's not.
This
talk
is
all at
great,
once.
guys. We got one right here. Amanda Diaz said this is great.
Thank you. I hope you find it informative.
We had Viviana, Francis, and Dairo all join up with us also.
Hey guys.
Bye.
But I think we are on our way out. So I guess you guys are good for closeout. Oh, wait.
Oh, we have a question now.
You guys can't see him,
All right.
but he's looking so intensely at that.
Well, yeah, your phone's dying out over here. Amanda said free hugs, and she's excited about that. Me too, Amanda. Free hugs all day. All right. Amanda, someone will contact you in a little bit, just in case.
My phone's about to die, so
Yeah. If you guys want, you can jump to the Bolano homepage.
yeah.
Good to go. All right, so we want to obviously give everyone a shout out that
Yes, thank you, everybody. Thumbs up. Thank you so much.
always supporting. We appreciate it. If you know someone
Wait,
interested.
wait.
Oh,
Well,
oh,
before we
wait,
drop
hold
out,
on.
we got a
Just kidding.
question from Mr. Ryan Gerard over on Instagram, Bolano Homes Instagram. He asked, credit cards with bonuses and a fee or no fee, high interest cards.
Huh?
Ryan, you're gonna have to get a little more detail up for me for that one, bud.
What's the question?
Credit cards with bonuses and a fee or no fee, high interest cards. I think it has to do with something that someone was talking about earlier. Credit cards with bonuses and a fee or no fee.
Maybe it's a suggestion he's making,
Maybe.
like to check versus, something with a fee versus without a fee, the bonuses, the interest rates, of course, stuff that you want to keep an eye on. I could be wrong. I'm sorry. Just trying to
All right.
decipher.
He's not firing back at us just yet. So I think we're gonna sidebar this one. We'll put it up on the next video. I'll write it down and we'll discuss it next time.
Yep,
And I'll
good.
talk to him. I'll send him a message. But thank you, Ryan. All right, everybody.
All right. Thank you. Please like, share, tag anyone that's interested in the real estate
Yes.
or just has any questions or anything like that.
Or just like seeing us on camera.
Yeah, I'd like to see him on camera.
All right.
All right.
All right,
Well, take
thank you.
care. Have
And,
a good
and,
night.
Behind the scenes, shout out to Mr. Bolano
Oh,
over
yeah,
there
thank
for
you.
being our camera guy.
Oh, wait.
Oh, and the question's back.
Should you buy a credit card that costs an annual fee?
Oh,
That is the
Oh,
question.
should you?
Should you?
Card. So not necessarily.
So much for a goodbye.
a financial
You just had everybody
advisor.
drop off of yours too.
But personally, if you can get one of those cards that you don't have an annual fee, you can keep a lower interest rate. You get some rewards. It's more beneficial to you. That interest will raise your balance more, even if you make a purchase and over time it ends up being you're paying back on like $70-$80 instead. That balance is going to keep going up with the interest. And also don't make minimum payments. Try to keep that balance below 20% on those cards.
mhm.
All right.
You said there was one on mine as well?
No, I said that everybody just dropped off after you said bye. So anyways, let's say bye one more time.
All right. Thank you so much, you guys. We appreciate the time that you took out of your day to listen to us and
Yes. Like,
give you
share.
us info.
Yes.
All
Sorry,
right.
didn't mean to interrupt you. But make sure
Totally
you guys like and share. Comment. Let us know if you want us to change anything. Let us know if you have any questions. Let us any suggestions, critiques. If I should grow my hair out, anything. All right. Have a good one, guys.
Have a good one. Good night.
The awkward part of the end of the video. Gosh.
How long did that one go for?